Hello, my friend. This is Heather. This is the Back to Me podcast Wednesday. And my bubbling thought of the week was actually about the wizard Dumbledore. And I was a bit traumatized when he died, I have to say. But he had a lot of good things to say, and he was a very smart man in his own way. And so have a listen and let me know what you think. Have a great week. See you soon. Hi, my friends. Welcome. This is the Back to Me podcast, and this is Heather, and I am super excited that you're here. You are going to hear some tips and some tricks and some ideas to help you live your happiest and healthiest self. I call it Back to Me because when you are taking care of yourself, back to me, then you can take better care of others, and we can all make the world a better place. This is Wellness Your Way, and I am super happy that you're here. Hello, my friend. How are you doing? I hope you're having an awesome day. This is Heather. Maybe realize that. This is the Back to Me podcast. And this is the Wednesday edition. So this is our, this is my thought for the week. This is just something that usually it's something that has come to me when I've been thinking about something else. So this week's topic that I posted was called what did I call it? The Wisdom of Dumbledore was what I called it. And if you know, I can't believe that people wouldn't know right now who Dumbledore was, but it's possible. It is possible. I haven't seen Avatar and I never went to see the Titanic. So there's people who haven't, got knowledge of the Harry Potter series, but, or even Fantastic Beasts. He appears everywhere. He had a very long life. And he seemed when the first Harry Potters came out, he seemed like the guy who knew absolutely everything. He could solve all problems. There was nothing that was beyond him. He moved about in mysterious ways, and you never really knew what he was thinking. And as you work your way through, you realize he's not actually perfect and he doesn't know everything. And that's okay, by the way. It's probably actually a healthy thing. But I can't even remember where I saw this quote. At one point, he says, sometimes we need to choose between what is easy and what is right. Now, when I'm going to speak of it today, I'm not speaking in like a moral sense, like it's easy to, I don't know, riot in the streets versus not. I'm trying to think of some big, huge thing that would be easy. I don't think it's easy to riot, but choosing between what is easy and what is right. And this kind of comes to my mind this week because I've been speaking with a couple of clients, a couple of people that I'm working with, and I can see it in myself as well. Sometimes when you're wanting something different, or you're wanting something to change, or you see that there's something different that you are working towards, there's going to be a time where it's going to start to suck. Let's just be serious. There's going to be a time where it feels like, oh my gosh, what the heck did I get myself into? Is this really what I want? The self-doubt comes in. I was speaking with someone just a little while ago about the self-doubt coming in. Everybody gets it. I think it's a normal human trait. And when you get into that space of it's not feeling all rainbows and unicorns, there's going to be people who say, oh, well, if you follow your true calling, everything will just flow easily. Yeah, it does at some point, probably, but not in the beginning. The coach that you're going to meet this Friday in the celebrity chat, she's called the Nope Coach, and she wrote a book called The Beginning is Shit. And I thought it was the perfect title because the beginning, you're trying to figure out, is this right? Is this what I want? Does it feel right? And if you've got a pretty clear picture of what it is that you really want, even if it's the right thing there's going to be a section of that journey that's not so great, right? So you hit this part where you might go back to the thing that you remember, the thing that was easy before because you'd already figured it all out, because that's what you know. As somebody I was talking to yesterday, that's what they know. So my question is, well, yes, you know it. And yes, it was easy, but is that actually what you want? I mean, if you're allowed to change your mind, by the way. That's okay. That's not an error. That's just like if you go partway down a road and go, shoot, wrong road, back up the bus, go back the other way, or just pick a new road. But my question was more for that person. They had been working so hard and they were so passionate about this particular thing they were working on, but they're having trouble. They were struggling. So that's not always the best time to abandon. No, it's not the best time to abandon ship. So easy, yes, easy is go back to what you did before, 100%. Well, maybe not 100%. Very likely. At least it'll feel comfortable. At least it'll feel like something you understand and don't have to work so hard at. But maybe the reward isn't as great as if you stuck with the thing you wanted and kept going, right? Um, because life is an exploration. For me, life is an exploration. I'm always curious. I'm always trying to figure things out. I have that puzzle solving brain. And for me, I don't want to keep going back to the familiar and keep falling back into that same place because for me, I've already figured it out and I'll get bored. My mind will go off somewhere else. But also, if it's not somewhere you want to be, like, is it comfortable because it's familiar, or is it be comfortable because that feels like the right place for you, right? There's going to be a difference between those two. And it takes some questioning, it takes some self-examination to know the difference and to know when it is okay to stay in that place that's not feeling the greatest right at the moment, or whether you need to um, change, to head off in another direction. And where you start and the journey that you start on doesn't have to stay that journey. So I've been talking to so many people to come on the podcast, my friend. You have so many cool people coming up that you're going to encounter on the podcast. But when I'm talking to them and letting them know my own journey, when I started coaching, I was originally business coaching, and that's where I thought I wanted to be. And it was partly a comfort thing. It was totally a comfort thing because I had my business background, and that's an easy place for me to fall into. But as I worked, I realized my coaching needed to be bigger than business coaching because people are holistic beings. They're more than just their profession or their job. So that's when I expanded and realized I was still on the same road. I just made my road wider, right? I just widened the lanes so I could make some more space. So sometimes if you're in a crappy spot, maybe you just got to widen your vision a little bit and take the blinders off a little bit and see what you're missing. Or could be the opposite. I don't know. Maybe you need a little more focus. One of those things is going to be true. As I always say, when Brad asks me questions or he says a statement, I'm like, one of those things is true, and one of them maybe isn't. But it's different for every person. So create yourself some space in your week and away from social media, away from things going on, away from emails, away from Netflix, BritBox, Acorn TV, whatever it is you watch, away from all of those things. Create some space where it's quiet and you can think. And you can think about, what do you want? What do you want? Right? You want something. You want something. Everybody wants something. What does it look like? And I was speaking with the client earlier. Don't get too caught up in the details. So when I'm painting, I used to do this. I had to break this habit. So imagine if, just for example, you're painting a cat and it's, a fair sized cat, and you go in and you start doing the whiskers. You don't have a good vision of what the cat is. So before you start drawing the whiskers, before you get into the details, get a bigger picture of you. Get a big picture view of what you want. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your days to look like? Who do you want to spend time with? How much money do you want to earn? Um, what do you want to be doing with your days? And you might say, I just want to lay on the beach all day. You're going to get bored, my friend. Don't don't pick that one. That's an easy out. That's not a real examination of how you'd like to spend your time and what you were put here for and what your purpose is, right? So don't sell yourself short. So don't choose what is easy over what is right for you. That's what I'll add on to the end of Dumbledore. Sometimes we have to choose between what is easy and then what is right for you. And that's my thought for the day. So, so I thought I had another thought coming, but it exited out the left ear. So if you, I mean, here's what the other thought was. So sometimes it's harder to choose ourself what we want over someone else. Sometimes it's easier to let someone make the decisions for us. I've fallen into that trap. So when you make that space for yourself to sit and really think about what you want, don't think about what everybody else tells you. Don't think about what everybody else tells you want. It's harder to sit and see what you want and sit with what you want. And part of that is because you have to take responsibility for what happens when you make that choice. And I know that can cause some things to come up for people. What if I fail? What if I succeed? People are afraid of both sides, funny enough. And that's okay. That's okay to have those emotions. We're emotional beings. But I'm going to invite you to examine, are you where you want to be, or are you where someone told you would be a good spot for you? I mean, they're all well-intentioned, I'm sure. But what if it's not the right spot for you? I became a chartered accountant because I didn't know what I wanted. And somebody at some point must have said to me, oh, you're really good at this. Become an accountant. Okay, I just went and did it. But was I happy at it? I was good at it, but can't say I loved it. So I had to make a decision, and I chose a different path. And I've changed paths a couple of times, as you know. So it's an ongoing process to choose what is right over what is easy. Take responsibility for your self-happiness. No one's going to do it for you. You take care of you, because when you do, this voice called back to me. You take care of you, and then everything else will get better. My friend, that is actually my thought for the day. I hope you have an amazing week. Check out Friday. Come in on Friday and check out Suzanne Kullberg for the Nope Coach, all the way from Sydney, Australia, by the way. And if you want to talk about what you want to do, which may or may not be easy, send me a message, send me a DM, send me an email, connect with me on my website. There's a quiz on the website now where you can check your wellness score and just see what that says. And give me some comments. Let me know how you're doing. I hope you're having an amazing day. Take care. I'll see you soon. Hi, my friend. Thanks so much for listening to this entire podcast. If you found it useful and you're like me and you like helping others, please feel free to share this. Just give it a like, give it a comment. If you found something useful in it, there's a chance that someone else will find something useful as well. Also, if you have any questions at all, I can absolutely help, and I would love to help. You can email me at heather@prosperityflowcoaching.com. If you want more of this awesome content, you can follow me on Instagram, Heather Stewart Coaching. You can follow me on Facebook, Prosperity Flow Coaching. And I have a personal request. I want to help as many people as I can with these podcasts. And if you could give me a review, hopefully a good one, if you could share, if you could send this out into the world, I would truly appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope that you find your way to wellness by getting back to me. Take care, my friend.